What's up, family? All right, so sin, short word, but that three-letter word, if you were to answer the question to why do you go to hell with that three-letter word, simply put, sin, period, would make for the longest sentence ever uttered. But exactly, what is sin? Can't say things like murder or rape, even though that's what you think of at first thought. But murder and rape, according to biblical literature, is subjective because sometimes God condones those things or even suggests or makes you do these things. Okay, so how do you know that murder is wrong? Only if God told you to do it, right? Or you consider it free and clear and it's not considered murder, right? Some people say that's called killing, not murder, because God told you to do it. But you have to consider that type of morale and say, okay, wait a second. If sin can sometimes be not murdering someone, does that mean that some people can be in hell for not murdering people? Because God wanted them murdered and they wouldn't do it? Because not everybody's like Saul. You know, God told Saul to go in and kill all the Amalekites, kill the men, the women, the children, the infants, all the animals, and so forth and so on. However, we know, if you read that story, that Saul saved a few of the animals so he could sacrifice them later. But God, Yahweh, the biblical God, punished him and made someone else king because God was mad at how he did not kill all the animals like he told him to. So when you're talking about sin, you have to think about exactly how do you figure out what exactly is sin, because you can't measure it on the grounds of what's good and what's bad. So right now we have a criminal system that's set up to put, you know, things like people like murderers and rapists in prison, put them away for a very long time, in fact. However, how do we know that God is not telling these people to do it? Because he definitely did in the Bible, right? And if you're offended at this, you should be more offended that it's in your Bible. It's in your literature. God is telling people to kill people. So when you say that murder is wrong, is it really wrong according to God? Short story. There's a man named Onan. Onan has a brother named God killed Onan's brother and then tells Onan that he wants him to have a child with his brother's widow. Right. Onan, of course, declines, and God kills him too. Where is the morality in that? Think about that. God didn't consider, Onan saying, hey, I don't want to, have sex with my brother's widow. Like, my brother was married to her. Why would I ever, God didn't care. So you have to consider this. Some people are burning in hell simply for not doing what God told them to do, even if that thing is detestable, horrible. So what is sin? It can't be murder and rape. Sin is simply doing something that God told you not to do, or doing something or not doing something that he told you to do. So simply disobeying God is sin. And you can go to hell for that if you believe in that kind of stuff. So just imagine that all the people in hell are not necessarily bad. It's crazy when you think about it, but people in hell are often going to have better morality or the same morality as those in heaven. And the only thing that's going to separate them from eternal punishment and eternal bliss is simply believing in Jesus. An all-smart, all-powerful, all-knowing being would not have came up with a plan that stupid. Simply believing in something does not make you better than the next man. Holla.